2002 Young Brothers 33 Sportfish Underdog, and it's just got some floor mats from the cockpit on the transom right now. But this is a boat set up for offshore tuna fishing. Right now it does not have the long bow pulpit on it. As I pan up, you can see there is a serious fly bridge with a tower about, I believe it's 20 to 22 feet off the water. The boat is a down east style boat. Fully enclosed pilot house with a stand-up helm that we'll show you in a second, and just real classic lines. That's where you would attach the pulpit. It says it's a 1983, but the boat underwent extensive refits in 2002 and 2007. It's got Volvo diesels, a pair of them, D63s, I believe. All electronic controls. They've even got a third station for backing down on the fish with the ZF electronic controls here. We're in the cockpit now. That is a fish box that will hold 3 6-foot long tuna. These are your rudder access panels in the rear. A large cooler forward in the cockpit, and then right under this anchor box is your live well. We move into the also in the cockpit are your tackle drawers. Rocket launcher style holders in the back of the pilot house. There's swiveling rod holders on each side. We've got a magma bait prep table that drops into the rod holders on the port side. This is the tower helm station. I wouldn't really call it a fly bridge because you're so far up here. But all the way to the left, you've got a Lowrance LMS 337. Navigation, sounder. The engine, you have a tachometer, but then they all have a multi-function digital LED readout right there. That if you scroll through it, it will show you your temperatures, your oil pressures, everything you need to keep an eye on the motors. Got a Ritchie compass out front, and then the electronic controls, just like we had at the third station in the cockpit. There is a small storage area where your VHF is housed, and you can just throw small items up here. There is hydraulic steering on the boat, and then a small bench for when you're sitting up here with a safety rail behind it. Just to give you an idea of how high up you are and how far out you'd be able to see, I'm looking down at the cockpit from this angle, and then you just kind of pan around the harbor. So this tower would give you an excellent vantage point for finding fish and really give you a good look. Boat comes with a Honda EN 2500 generator that will run the lights at night. It's a gas-powered generator, so you do have to have a separate fuel supply because the motors run on diesel. Out on the front of the boat, single bow cleat, and this is your attachment point for the bow pulpit that extends well out onto the bow, but it removes easily so you can get in and out of the harbor, or if you don't want the tower. There is a life raft. It's an Elliott. and it is a easily deployed, all up to date, and there are bow rails out here for you to hang on to if you're moving forward in rough seas. 2 points of entry for the pilot house. You can come in off the port side deck or aft from the cockpit. I'll pan around. Slowly they store the rods indoors, and this mattress is also used for someone to catch some shut-eye but be able to keep an eye out when you're out fishing on an overnight trip. The Helm Seat is a leaning post basically with 4 rocket launchers on the back. The helm itself is pretty straightforward. You've got your controls split on either side. They are the Mathers electronic controls. All your accessory switches are down low. Engine shutoffs, or your fuel shutoffs, are right below the controls. There's 2 12-volt power plugs. Compass forward of the wheel is a Ritchie, and then you've got all Volvo Penta gauges separated by engine on each side. 2 radar. Oh, you got a color video depth sounder, which is a Furuno FCV 292. Furuno radar is mounted just on the bottom of the overhead. A Raymarine C120 chart plotter and an RC620 chart plotter. Your VHF radios are overhead within easy reach of the helm, both ICOMs. Good to have redundant systems when you're fishing well offshore. The boat does have functional windshield wipers, but one arm needs to be replaced. And then there is a EPIRB mounted to starboard just when you walk into the helm. Head and below decks. The head is to port when you first come down. Very straightforward. Small pump out head. No shower that I can see. Yeah, there is a shower. They're just hanging all the raincoats on. This is the control boxes for your electronic controls. Battery switches are also down here. This is basically the aft end of the cabin or the front side of the dash, however you want to look at it. And then there is a battery charger as well. Small alcohol 2-burner stove. And then there are 2 bunks, so you can go out for some overnight trips, catch some shut-eye in between fishing, and keep on fighting. And then there is storage shelves just outboard of the bunks and above, and forward storage in the bow. There is an overhead deck hatch, and you can so you can let in some cooling air, and there are side ventilation hatches on each side. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, there are outriggers on the boat. You can see them on the side. And but this gives you an overall look at the boat. Very classic down east look. Young Brothers are known for that. And give us a call. We'll sell it.